यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनतीरा वनचारि जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज विहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so today we will do the verse number 11, which is the last verse of the nectar of instruction. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Aham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkrupātamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinatarine. Hare Krishna. So let us read the word to word and translation first and then chant the shloka. Okay. So nectar of instruction, verse 11. Hey, how come this is always there? I cannot hide it. Okay. Krishnasya of Lord Sri Krishna, Uchai, very highly, Pranaya Vasatihi, Pranaya Vasatihi, Pranaya Vasatihi, object of love. Preyasi Bhya, out of many lovable copies. Preyasi Bhyo Api, certainly. Radha, Srimati Radha Rani, Kundam, lake. Chasya, cha, asya, cha, also, asya, of her. Muni bhir bhitasta drukeva. So first word is munihi, by great sages. Abhita, abhi, abhita here, abhita, in all respect. Trak eva, तारक एव similarly, tadruk एव, tadrug एव similarly. Vyadhayi is described, yat which, Preshtei by the most advanced devotees, api even, alam enough, asulabham difficult to obtain, kim what, punar bhakti bhajam punha again, bhakti bhajam of person engaged in devotional service, bhakti bhajam, tat that, preme love of Godhead, idam this, sukrut api once, even, saraha lake, snatu of one who has bathed, snatun, avishkaroti arouses. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Of many objects of favor, delight, and of all the lovable damsels of Rajabhumi, Srimati Radharani certainly is the most treasured object of Krishna's love. This is the first line. Krishnasya uchaye pranaya vasita preyosibhyo apiradha. And in every respect, her divine Kunda is described by the great sages as similarly dear to him. Kundam chasya munibhir abhitas tadruk eva vyadhyayi. Vyadhyayi means described. Undoubtedly, Radha Kunda is very rarely attained even by great devotees. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attend. Yat preshter api alam asulabham kim punar bhakti bhajam. If one simply bathes once within those holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. Tat premedam sakruda api snatu sarah lake snatur avik संस्कृत की तरह avishkaroti even once, snatu of one who has bathed. Where is once? Sakrit is once. Okay, so let's try to chant these words. Krishnasya uche pranaya vasita preyasibhyo apiradha kundam chasya munibhir abhitastadruk eva vyadhyayi yat preshter apyalam sulabham kim punar bhakti bhajam tat premedam sakrudapi na sara snatura vishkaroti krishnasya uche pranaya vasita preyasibhyo apiradha kundam chasya munibhir abhitastadruk eva vyadhyayi yat preshter api alam sulabam kim punar bhakti bhajam tat premedam sukrudapi sarasnatura vishkaroti. Anybody want to try?
Yes, Prabhuji. कृष्णस्योच्चये प्रणयवस्ति प्रेयसीभ्योऽपि राधा कुण्डं चास्या मुनिभिरभितस्तादृगेव व्यदायि यत्प्रेस्तैर्यप्यलम् असुलभं किं पुनर्भक्तिभाजं तत्प्रेमदं सकृदपि सरस्नातुराविष्करोति. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, perfect. Anybody else? try. Okay, so let's read translation and purport. Those who are in position to read purport can read. I will just start. Of many objects favored, delight, and of all lovable damsels of Rajabhumi, Srimati Radharani certainly the most treasured object of Krishna's love, and in every respect her divine Kunda is described by great sages as similarly dear to him. Undoubtedly, Radha Kunda is very rarely attained even by great devotees. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply bathes once within those holy water, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. Purport. Why is Radhakund so exalted? The lake is so exalted because it belongs to Srimati Radharani, who is most beloved object of Sri Krishna. Among all the gopis, she is the most beloved. Similarly, her egg, Sri Radha Kund, is also described by great sages as the lake that is as dear to Krishna as Radha herself. Indeed, Krishna's love for Radha Kund and Srimati Radha Rani is same in all respect. Radha Kund is very rarely attained even by great personalities fully engaged in devotional service. Not to speak of ordinary devotees who are only engaged in practice of Vaidhi Bhakti. Anybody wish to read and in position to read purport or difficult?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please.
Hare Krishna. It is stated that a devotee will at once develop pure love of Krishna in the wake of the gopis if he once takes a bath in the Radha Kund. Srila Rupa Goswami recommends that even if one cannot live permanently on the banks of Radha Kunda, he should at least take a bath in the lake as many times as possible. This is a most important item in the execution of devotional service. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in this connection that Sri Radha Kund is the most select place for those interested in advancing their devotional service in the wake of the lady friends, Sakhis, and confidential serving maids, Manjaris of Srimati Radharani. Living entities who are eager to return home to the transcendental kingdom of God, Goloka Vrindavan, by means of attaining their spiritual body, Siddha Deha, should live at Radhakund. Take shelter of the confidential serving maids of Sri Radha and under their direction engage constantly in her service. This is the most exalted method for those engaged in devotional service under the protection of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this connection, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura writes that even great sages and great devotees like Bharata and Sanaka do not get an opportunity to come to Radha Kunda to take their baths. What then to speak of ordinary devotees? If by great fortune one gets an opportunity to come to Radha and bathe even once, he can develop his transcendental love for Krishna exactly as the gopis did. It is also recommended that one should live on the banks of Radha Kund and should be absorbed in the living service of the Lord. One should bathe there regularly and give up all material conceptions, taking shelter of Sri Radha and her assistant gopis. If one is thus constantly engaged during his lifetime, after giving up the body, he will return back to the Godhead to serve Sri Radha in the same way as he contemplated during his life on the banks of Radha Kund. The conclusion is that to live on the banks of Radhakund and to bathe there daily constitutes the highest perfection of devotional service. It is a difficult position to attain even for great sages and devotees like Narada. Thus, there is no limit to the glory of Sri Radhakund. By serving Radhakund, one can get an opportunity to become an assistant of Srimati Radharani and under the eternal guidance of the gopis. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So this is the, I think, third verse that Sri Rupa Goswami is glorifying Srimati Radharani and Radha Kund. So, and this is the, if you see among the instructions, I was just writing, there are only 11 verses like in the Nectar of Instruction, in which Srila Rupa Goswami has summarized everything that is required to perfect our devotional service. Right? So, if we see how the flow is, right, guide us, devotees like us, like sadhakas, we say, who are practicing devotional service. In this verse, Srila Prabhupada says, who are practicing the Vaidhi Bhakti, right? So, Vaidhi Bhakti means practicing the devotional service by following the rules and regulations of the scripture, right? So, when we see in the ISKCON temple, all the temples that Srila Prabhupada established are under the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and ISKCON. They are worshipped according to the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, worship of Shri Radha Krishna and Nitya Gaur Sundar, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, and the process through which they are worshipped, like the artis and everything. These are recommended in Hari Bhakti Vilas, right? And how to worship, how to do puja, arti, everything. So these are rules and regulations to worship. So we are all are practicing Vaidhi Bhakti. uh, and so Vaidhi Bhakti is generally sadhakas like us, who need certain rules and regulations to control themselves. Yeah, just think of a very simple thought, like if Srila Prabhupada to propagate Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message of chanting, right, the Yuga Dharma, Srila Prabhupada gave us rules, right, four principles to follow, basic principles. Those are basic principles, right, to follow. And Srila Prabhupada gave the books in which there are instructions to be followed for attaining the pure bhakti, through the sadhana bhakti. The rules like chanting 16 rounds, following strict vows of four principles like no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication. These are the rules Srila Prabhupada gave. If those rules were not there, right, so then we will not be sincere, right, because of the Kali Yuga mind and chanchal nature, flickering nature of our mind. If there is no control, uh, we are out of the regulations and the rules. So, to drive a car, there are rules. To to go on train, there are rules. Mm. To sit in train, there are rules. To stand in train, there are rules. How to behave in train, also there are rules. Similarly, flight, we have rules. Walking also has rules. So why all these rules and everything is required? Otherwise, our mind will drive us crazy. So similarly, to practice bhakti, we need rules and regulations that are given in Vaidhi Bhakti. So we are doing Vaidhi Bhakti. So by following the rules strictly, we progress, right? So if you follow the rules or the laws of the country, like we are in Japan, we have to follow the laws of Japan and rules of Japan, right? Even crossing the road, we follow this. But same person, if he goes in India, maybe will not follow these rules, right? So in Japan, we know that when we cross the road, we should cross from the zebra crossing, and we watch the walking signal also, red, green. In when the people of other countries are in Japan, they will follow those rules strictly, because of the social pressure and because of the laws of the country. Then you try to be part of the system and society, so you have to follow that. But same person, like I, including myself, if I go to, I'm Indian, I go to India, somebody Nepal, they goes to Nepal or Bangladesh or America, anywhere. Once you go to that country, we may be behaving differently. So if it's a simple example of crossing the road, maybe I will follow here, but in India, if there is no signal, there is no zebra crossing, I will cross the road anywhere. And crossing the road in India and other places is a skill, without any rules and so many vehicles. I can do that also, but here I will not do that. But if I live long time here, And if I try to pass the road, cross the road in India, it is difficult now because of the traffic, and we are not used to do like that, right? So in India, like people just go in the road and they say to the vehicles like stop by hand gestures, right? And they cross. But if we go now, it's difficult because we are used to follow the Japan rules, right? So similarly, Vaidhi Bhakti and these rules are given so that we train our mind and our body also. Hmm? So that is Vaidhi Bhakti. So here it is mentioned that Radha Kund is exalted because Srimati Radharani is Kunda, and Radharani is very dear to Krishna. So anything related to Radharani is very dear to Krishna. So Kunda is also related to Radharani, so that is very dear to Krishna. So if any devotee or bhakta who is dear to uh, Radharani, that becomes dear to Krishna. Uh, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's protection here, where is that statement? It's very interesting that we are practicing this bhakti under the protection of this here. This is most exalted matter for those engaged in devotional service under the protection of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we have to take shelter of Radha Kund and serving the Srimati Radharani and their direction, and under their direction engage constantly in the service. This is most exalted process, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as we know, is Krishna coming in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So when we worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are all actually worshipping both Krishna and Srimati Radharani, right? So that's why we are always in the protection of Srimati Radharani. So that is why the worship of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu is glorified, because you are naturally under the control and protection of Srimati Radharani through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then comes dear to Krishna also. So, following the method and processes set up by our acharyas is the basic understanding, or is the basic necessity to progress on this path of bhakti. Sometimes it becomes like, now I am chanting for 20 years, 25 years, now I am fixed, we think. So I can be little bit relaxed. Okay. So initially, devotees, when they start, they will chant. Okay, they start chanting 1 round, 2 round, 4 round, 8 round, 16 rounds. Once they start to practice chanting 16 rounds, initially we try to cover up all our chanting in the morning hours. Because we hear from everybody that morning time is the best time, and then, but as the time goes, as you get older, as you get have more years in bhakti practice, slowly, slowly we become relaxed. Now this applies to me also, right? Now it's maybe difficult for me to get up at 4 o'clock and chant 16 rounds before I start anything in the my regular life. Why I think it is difficult? Because I am getting little bit relaxed. Oh, I am no chanting is there. 16 rounds I can complete now or in one day, so I can complete. If not in the morning, in the evening, while in the train, I can complete, and I do that. Why this is happening? Of course, because of the situations in I am in, and of course because of the bodily situations, condition, and one more point is because we get little bit relaxed and used to the things. So when you get used to certain thing, the mind becomes relaxed. So if we need constantly in her service, engage constantly. So that's why always hearing, always reading, always talking about Krishna is important, because then the mind is engaged in that world. So if you are doing a job, or if you are doing some activities outside, sometimes we think like this world of ISKCON or devotees is totally different. What they are doing, what we are doing is totally different from the normal people and normal world. Sometimes it feels like, uh, is it practical thing what we are trying to do? bhakti and all. The world is running somewhere different. It's talking about AI and talking about advanced things, uh, and robots and human-like robots, and everything taken over by AI, and that so much developments are going on a very small time with very high pace. When we see all these things and then we suddenly come to the devotees and temple and they are just engaged in this, think, oh, this is this practical thing what we are doing? Does this work? Why we think like that? Because our mind and intelligence get used to all these things and we think, oh, this is very normal thing to do 16 rounds and following the principles. No, but we have to understand that this is what Vaidhi Bhakti is. We have to follow these rules, and by this following these rules daily, slowly we are making progress on bhakti. We make some progress, then we do some offenses, we get relaxed, our sadhana is not strong, our chanting is not focused, then the speed becomes more slow. Of course, we are progressing, but it becomes slow. If we see Srila Prabhupada disciples now also, they are mostly are above 70 years of age. Most of the Srila Prabhupada disciples are about 75 now, age-wise, but still they follow very strictly the practice of chanting and devotional other devotional services, though their body may not be so fit or may not be so easily or relaxed to do all these activities. Everything now at that age we need efforts. Like now for me also above 50, so above 40, it's everything requires efforts. It does not come easily. Now if we say young, if you are in your 30s, your energy level, and your determination and your capacity to do the different things is much higher, but it goes slowly down after 40, 50, 60, 70, and bodily needs increase. When I say bodily needs, it does not mean the food or something, the care of the body. We get some blood pressure, we have to take medicine, all those things increase, right? Then you have to care for the body. So generally in India or other countries, people say, oh, I will do bhakti, uh, but I will do it after 45 or 50 when I have more time. But that is not the practical thing that we try to make, na? No, as the age increases, it is becomes more difficult to do the bhakti. Hmm? And the time is there, we think the time is there, but I think opposite. Like, eh, once you go above 40 or 50, the time is very fast. One day finishes very fast. Why? Because of the engagements that we have. Uh, we have so many family responsibilities, job responsibilities. The one day, 1 month finishes very quickly. So the time is more fast. The time is running fast. How? Because of our engagements. So after 40, 50, 60, 70, it is more fast. That's what I have heard. Uh, so that way it will become more and more difficult. So if you have started doing bhakti at age of say 20 or 25, then it is very good opportunity uh, to come under the protection of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and continue the bhakti. The earlier you start is better, but it is difficult to start earlier because of the attractions that we have everywhere. So if we consider all these things, right, the mind and the intelligence will be always in a bewildered state of whether I should do it or I should not do it. Is it practical? Is it doable? All these things that are written here, is it really true that even bathing once in Radha Kund, uh, is it so rare? Is it really like that I cannot go to Radha Kund in my whole life if I am living 60 years? Is it like that I will not be able to visit Radha Kund once also? We think like that. The mind and intelligence works like that. But here Rupa Goswami is trying to mention the same point, like, don't take the things for granted in this life, that it will happen. I don't have to worry. No, so these verses about Radha Kund and Srimati Radharani are telling us that life is not so straightforward as we think. It will not go as we think. We go as per the laws of nature, like I was explaining. When I'm Japan, I go with those laws. So this material world also goes with the laws, karma law, other laws, everything is there. So it's running like that. So the life, our life and body will also follow that. uh, so Krishna tells Arjuna in the last chapter, the 18th chapter, Arjuna, have you heard this? Uh, if you have heard this attentively, did you understand what I am trying to tell you? Attentively, were you listening attentively? Uh, if you don't follow my instructions, anyway you will do what is your swabhava is. Uh, so Kshatriya, you will fight anyway, you will fight. So either you fight for dharma, otherwise also you will fight for adharma. Somewhere you will fight, you cannot avoid. So our body is in this Kali Yuga anyway, by the laws of nature, the laws of the material world, the three modes of nature, we will do something we will do in passion and ignorance, because we are in those modes always, right? So by that we will do something that will uh, be enforced on us by the laws, right? So better do bhakti. So how bhakti? Vaidhi bhakti. Better to do that, so that we are in proper consciousness. So all these verses that they are explaining about Srimati Radharani and Radha Kund implies that we should take all this bhakti process and the rules mentioned very seriously. And one more point that I was thinking when I was reading these words is how going to Radha Kund, or people living at Radha Kund or taking bath in the Radha Kund, is so auspicious. And this world is there, right? This world. If one simply bathes once within those holy waters, our pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. Prema of God, love of Godhead. So it becomes like, there are verses like, if you chant once the name of Krishna, your pure love for Krishna is aroused, or you will do pure bhakti. And then when we read these sentences or words from the different scriptures, we think like, okay, I'm chanting for so many years, so what I'm doing, is my pure love already there? What exactly, or how, why it is not happening? Huh? So the explanation the acharyas give is, or Krishna says, like, immediately you will cross over the ocean of material existence, immediately if you start. But what this immediately or only once implies, it implies that our journey to bhakti or serving Krishna starts. Hmm? Because you have taken the name this lifetime. Even if you don't take the name of Krishna again in this lifetime, next lifetime you will take the name again somehow or other, uh, once or twice or maybe 10 times in next lifetime. So from the perspective of eternity, or the time span of your life in different births, uh, which is, I don't know, many lifetimes or many births, right? So from that perspective it is immediately, from our perspective it is next life. But from you, if you see from Krishna's point of view, he is eternal. For him this one life of ours is nothing, actually it does not exist. If we see the time of Brahma's life, or in the Swargaloka, that itself is so long. Uh, and we, from that comparison also, it's nothing, right? So Krishna, Brahmaji took the Gopas from Vrindavan to hide them. Uh, he went, he hid them, and then he thought, oh, let us see what happened on earth, what Krishna is doing. I will keep them, make them sleep here. He returns to earth, and by that he just goes and comes back. By that time 1 year is passed on earth, right? So that is how the time is relative and as per the place you live. Simple way to understand is like now I am in Japan. The time in Japan is 7:30. The time in India is 4 o'clock. Relative time, right? So it's not same time everywhere. So based on your position, time will change. So similarly, Earth and the heavenly planets, it's different. If you consider whole universe, in universe different places are there, different planets are there. uh, like on Earth we have different continents and the time is different. Similarly, in one universe different. So from point of eternity or point of Brahma's one day also, this our one life of existence of 70 or 80 years is negligible, is very 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 small. So from that perspective, if you see, okay, somebody has taken name of Krishna now, and Krishna will look here, or he even if he don't look, if he thinks, he sees that somebody has taken the name, and again he checks, by that time maybe many lifetimes on earth have passed. So he from that perspective it is immediate, oh, he took the name and now he is immediately has prema, for from that angle. But our lifetime it may be 100, 1000, 10,000, 10 million births, right? So it is a relative term. So uh, that we have to understand how these Vedas and Shastras and way of looking at these words and the explanations at once. If you take once the bath, your pure love is aroused, prema. So, yeah, so it will arise. From our perspective it may take lifetimes, so but your journey has started, so it will arise for sure, that is for sure. So sometime in the future it will come. So that way the journey starts. So you will get the prema for Krishna if you bathe in Radha Kund. You started your journey under the shelter of Radharani. So it's very interesting when we read these verses and read these words that Radha Kund is so powerful. And now here is it is mentioned that the great sages like Narad Muni also cannot visit Radha Kund. It's difficult for them to visit Radha Kund. Yeah, so Narad Muni is living, is always traveling somewhere, right? And when he will come to this earthly planet, in which universe, and then he comes to Radha Kund and takes baths, it's a very rare situation, right? Because they are traveling all over the universes, all over the material world, spiritual world, everywhere. So in that, the occasion to come to Radha Kund and bath is very rare. It's not. So it's interesting when we read this that why Narad Muni, he can do any time. He can come anytime and take. Why it is rare? Yeah, it is rare. We are thinking from our small intelligence that Narad Muni can come here and go. Simple. What is difficult? No, but he's going everywhere. Uh, so we have to, when we read these verses and try to understand the purports of Srila Prabhupada or other acharyas, we have to see that how these acharyas have the vision of eternity and vision of overall material and spiritual world, and then how they are giving this knowledge in these purports that if we understand it properly it becomes very interesting, and the problems of this life becomes very negligible. There are some videos on YouTube. If you see those videos, those are like the size of earth video. Uh, how much is the size of sun or earth as compared to the different millions of stars in our universe? And there you can see those videos, like it's the size of earth is so small that if you take the view of everything, it's nearly we cannot find. But we think we are living on earth, it is the biggest thing. No. So the vision that we have is very limited. That's why these books that Srila Prabhupada has given, it is very important to read Srila Prabhupada's book, other Acharya's book, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur, Raghunath Das Goswami, Sanatan Goswami. It is important to read the books by these acharyas, which will give us a vision which is much more different from the vision that we have. Uh, and then the life becomes a easy journey if you are in shelter of devotees and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are somehow lucky that we have come in touch with Srila Prabhupada. uh, and we are doing this. Somehow we are trying to do some bhakti. Uh, so that is the highest contribution of Srila Prabhupada. That's why all over the world, all the societies, all the sages, uh, or the Maharaj, everybody, even if they are not from ISKCON, all the systems of Parampara, they appreciate Srila Prabhupada's contribution as the most difficult and most important contribution, because he has given this vision and he has given this name to the earth planet, not the countries. He has given to earth planet, everywhere he has given that. uh, in 1960s. Now we see, like now there are YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and all these things. The preaching by if you say preaching, it is not so difficult. You can just prepare the videos, post on YouTube, post on your Instagram, somebody will check. So preaching is happening and the resources are available. People can see. So it becomes accessible now. Uh, but when 1960s and 70s, when all these phones and everything was not there, to spread the movement, to spread the name all over the world looks an impossible task. Uh, how it will happen? Like suddenly in 10 years there are temples in different countries and Radha and Krishna worship has started in different countries. Sorry, it's next to impossible task, right? But Srila Prabhupada accomplished that task. At certain point, when book distribution was going on, and Harinam was going on, that time it was like the wave of Harinam, right? Everywhere it was, and devotees were just going to different countries and starting centers and doing Harinams. So this is Srila Prabhupada's great mercy to all the people of this earth planet. And this was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prediction that name will be chanted in each and every town of this world. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, Acharya's mercy, Srila Prabhupada's mercy, that has become a reality, and that's how somehow or other we come in touch with Srila Prabhupada's movement, and we are now discussing Nectar of Instruction, translated by Srila Prabhupada, and whose book? Srila Rupa Goswami's book. So if Srila Prabhupada would not have taken so much efforts and so much pain and bodily discomfort, how would have we come in touch with this, right? Or how could we have thought of doing pure bhakti? Maybe we, the Indians or Nepal or Bangladesh or other countries, wherever there are temples, maybe somehow or other we will be doing some worship, but not we may not be thinking of this pure devotional service and all, right? How to do it, what is the importance? Yeah, so this is the great mercy that we have already got. So we should be very always have deep gratitude for Srila Prabhupada and his devotees and any devotee who is helping us to do this, right? So uh, that's why the association of devotees is important. So we should not take the things for granted in this life. And we should have the sense of urgency and sense of necessity to do this thing. Then we are sincere in our sadhana also, right? So even if we are ordinary devotees who are only engaged in practice of Vaidhi Bhakti, Srila Prabhupada's sentence also, like we are just doing Vaidhi Bhakti right now. But what we have to do? We have to go to Radha Kund, take bath in Radha Kund, and try to follow on the footsteps of the devotees who are living in Radha Kund. So that is Raganuga Bhakti that Rupa Goswami is telling us, Srila Prabhupada is telling us that you have to be natural attraction for Krishna, spontaneous love for Krishna. Uh, that is our ultimate goal is of course prema for Krishna, but the process to attain that mm, is quicker process is Raganuga Bhakti, which the devotees living at Radha Kund have. We discussed this that it's not easy to live in Radha Kund. It's very hot in summer, it's very cold in winter, and the facilities and the way of living there is not like what we are having here. Yeah. So, yeah, and austerities and the control of mind and body and senses and doing the sadhana very strictly. Of course, it is natural if you live there, but your body and your mind has to be trained in that way, then people can live easily. So that's why Radha Kund is glorified, and so whenever we get opportunity we should go to Radha Kund, take bath, not play in the Radha Kund, just take deep, come out with the consciousness of having prema, attending prema for Krishna, right? Somehow or other that we attain that. So this is what real Rupa Goswami is trying to tell us, that uh, if you are living, if you want to practice bhakti, practice in this way. So if we summarize like from only just 11 verses, uh, very basic instructions are also given, like first verse, how what should be controlled, who is a devotee, who can take disciples, vachovegam, he has to control all that. Uh, then once you start controlling, what are the activities that should be avoided, what are the activities that is favorable for devotional service, then he tells us how to associate with devotees, what actions you should give to different devotees. In that association, then Shri Rupa Goswami tells us how you respect each devotee as per their level of bhakti or attainment of sadhana bhakti. Mm. And how you should have a vision to look at devotees, that is given in the sixth verse. Of course, it's bodily, like it's mentioned there, like bodily things, like if there's some part of the body is not working or distorted, should not look at that. So we should also try, that's very important instruction. So these three verses, it gives us the importance of devotees and how to associate with devotees, what should be our vision uh, or thought process when we associate with devotees, like 4, 5, 6, and the importance of that. And then Rupa Goswami tells us chanting the names, why it is most important to chant the names of Lord. And how to chant the names of Lord? I'll utilize 24 hours. All times should be utilized for this. And then in the last three verses, Rupa Goswami gives us the goal or the highest perfection of all these things when you chant and utilize your time. And then what you should do, you should try to live in Dhamma. It's not drama, it's Dhamma. Gomena said this spelling mistake. It's Dhamma Mahima by Mathura. See this automatic correction, it's viral, it's Vraja. Govardhan, then Radha Kund. And on the 10th verse, shloka, again Rupa Goswami explains like why the bhakti is the topmost. And other processes, there are other processes, but the goal is different. And where you reach is different. And how that other processes of bhakti divert us to different destination. So there he again tells us bhakti is the best. So chanting is best, dharma thinking is best, and so this is bhakti. So don't get disturbed by other processes. Bhakti is the topmost. And then again he tells the importance of Srimati Radharani and Radha Kund and the devotees of Srimati Radharani. Why they are important, why shloka 4, 5, 6 is important, why the devotees are important, and that is actually glorification of Srimati Radharani, the most beloved devotee of Krishna. right? So in this way, in these 11 verses, Srila Rupa Goswami is giving us guidance to achieve the topmost possible goal, that is prema. Hmm. So if Rupa Goswami has given these instructions, it is possible that if we follow these instructions strictly in our lifetime, throughout this life, it's possible that you get what is the soul looking for, that is prema. So Srila Prabhupada's one sentence is, many lifetimes we have passed, we don't know how many lifetimes, somehow or other, now if we are practicing bhakti, this one lifetime give to Krishna, this one lifetime, next we don't know how many gone, we don't know. So the vision of Srila Prabhupada, right, this one lifetime, we think that one lifetime is 80 years, but Srila Prabhupada is thinking at a different level. uh, there are so many lives and births you have taken, so at least this one you give, na, this is nothing as compared to your whole journey of births. Just one you give, and that may deliver, right? So how Srila Prabhupada's vision is, right? When he talks, just give this lifetime, uh, we understand, oh, Srila Prabhupada was living at a different consciousness level, uh, and he is giving very broad view and broad vision to us, uh, that how we should think and look at this life and overall journey, right? So just give this lifetime. How much time Srila Prabhupada it takes to attain the perfection? Srila Prabhupada says 1 second. So 1 second, we think, oh, 1 second, yeah. Just you have to be from your heart and you have to say, Krishna, now I am yours. Now I surrender unto you. That's it. And if you do and follow that, you are on the fast track. Right? So that is Srila Prabhupada's vision that he wants us also to have, and then practice bhakti. So gratitude, that's why gratitude is the most important thing for practicing bhakti. Gratitude to anyone who is helping us to do bhakti. Very, very important. There may be problems, there may be situations, there may be confusions, there may be conflicts, everything is there, but the sense of gratitude should never be given up. Because everyone who is in touch with us is somehow or other arranged by the bhakti energy. They are coming in connect with us. We don't know eternally, when we talk about the eternal life, we don't know what our relationships are. Like we all now sitting here listening, we have some relationship from somewhere in spiritual. We don't know, but we have something, right? So anybody comes in contact is important when who is doing bhakti. So don't take the things for granted. Don't take time for granted that I still have time. Uh, we don't know how much time we have. There are many examples nowadays where the life is very uncertainty of life is coming into picture. There are several news. If you see these YouTube influencers and Instagram influencers, very young age they are getting so much fame and money and all. But now the thing is coming up is these influencers who are at age of 24, 25, and who are very popular and who are earning lot of money, they are suddenly dying at the age of 30, 26 with the heart attack or some other role, some other diseases, right? So this is the reality that is coming up, that in Kali Yuga the lifespan will get reducing. We can see, if we observe, you can see, right? So don't take anything for granted, and we have to be very sincere in our practice of bhakti and chanting. Thank you very much for providing this opportunity to share something, to read with you all, and to learn. And this is a reminder every Saturday that we get, that we should be very sincere and deep, deeply grateful for all the devotees, including Acharyas and Srila Prabhupada, for providing us this opportunity to get in touch with the bhakti process. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So,
Hare Krishna.
any comments, anything? We have time. We can talk. We can discuss. Anybody can share. Thank you very much. Any comments? Anything anybody will like to say? Which we complete these 11 verses, but we can, if everybody is okay, we can think of what should be the next, right? What should we read next? That can also we can think of.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the wonderful class and all the classes so far. I'm like really amazed we've been able to finish the whole thing, and we've been having such amazing discussions and doubts clarified and questions answered. It has been a truly amazing journey, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
It's everybody's efforts, right? Everybody's coming together, and that's how the things work out. Okay, so if
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Chinmay.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Yes, it feels very refreshing that we have completed this book. It took so much time, but yes, I can say that I understand almost 80% of this book. So, thank you very much for giving us this class for this book. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Chinmay, and everyone for joining and keeping this going. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, from my side also.
Thank you.
Like I'm also, able to deliver the things you have, explained here in Nepal also, in the realizing sharing classes. So I'm really thankful to you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. You are doing wonderful preaching. So I am very happy that it helps something. Na? Yeah. Thanks to Jayashri also, who pushes us to
Hare
read the
Krishna.
books. Yeah. Yeah, Mol.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Sorry. Thanks for the today class, and especially to tell the importance of Radha Kund and uh, the aspects of the Vedya Bhakti and why it is also important, because many times we hear that the ultimate process will lead the is the Raghu Raga Bhakti, but Vedya Bhakti is also very important. So thanks for that, and we'll try to follow this 10 verses in our life, hopefully. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you for the class.
Help me also to follow this. Only you help me also to follow this 11 verses in my lifetime. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful
Okay.
class. This whole book is very good for the sadhana bhakti people. I feel that way, and you explained how we can do the sadhana bhakti in day-to-day life, and so and how to say it. It makes me to get desire to go to Vrindavan, Radha Kund, visiting Radha Kund, uh, get more love from the Radha Krishna's love, increase the bhakti. So, a lot of things I learned practically from your class. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mataji, for always putting very nice questions and realizations. Actually, that helps a lot. And thanks to Jayashri also, who keeps us reminding for the class and discussions. So yeah, we'll continue these discussions. Even if not this book, we can think of which other book we can discuss together or read together, and that we can continue and help each other. We have to help each other basically. Otherwise, it's impossible. Okay, to do this anything. Okay, so I believe.
Prabhuji, sorry, I would like to thank you to Jaishi Mataji also.
Yeah.
sir, for providing me for this opportunity. She only like informed me about these classes, so I'm really thankful to you, also, Mataji. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna. Dandavat
Yeah.
Pranam.
Yeah. Dandavat, Dandavat. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Chinmay.
Regarding next class,
Mm.
like, should we
Mm-hmm.
conclude this book? Like, everyone will do summary of two slok. Like, there are
Mm-hmm.
right now five people. So, if everyone concluded two verses in the next class, and then we'll see how decided.
Yeah, that's a good, very good proposal. I am okay. Let's do that. 11 verses. Everybody can take two verses and just share their understanding and practical tips, what they think. Yeah, I think we can do that.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
What
Krishna.
do you, what others are thinking right now? Is it okay to go with this? Mataji and Prabhuji.
Yeah, what everybody thinks on
Okay
this.
with me, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
NOD, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm also okay. So,
yeah. So just write in the group like which verses you will take, and then next class we will just everybody share their realizations, how it is helping, and help each other. Let's help each other. Huh? That's more important.
Yeah, I
I
feel
will add a
very
poll
important.
for that.
Sorry.
I feel all the verses are important. It's really difficult to choose just two verses.
Yeah. So we have 1 week to take two verses and meditate on those two verses and put our intelligence and our bhakti, shakti, and to put up. Yeah, I think it helps. Okay. So next week we will have this session. Just write which verses you want to take, and maybe somebody like Chinmay, Anmol, somebody just coordinate this on the group, and then we can have next session on that.
How much, how much minutes per person?
If we take 1 hour, 11 verses, if to summarize 6 minutes per verse, right? Or 5 minutes per verse. 11 into 5, 55. 5 minutes for each verse, right? So it's very good experience to put up everything in 5 minutes, the most important points. Yeah. But we can, of course, it's not that 5 minutes. If you want to speak 10 minutes, that also is okay. Okay. Thank you very much again for giving time on Saturday morning and giving opportunity to associate with you all to speak something. I may have made mistakes when I speak something and maybe put up some points that may hurt somebody, or but that's all unintentionally something happens. I don't know. I also create mistakes. So please forgive me for that if I have done mistakes and I have hurt somebody, or if I have gone beyond my allowed limits. Please forgive me for that, and please help me to practice these 11 verses and to do bhakti. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Stop.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Bye bye, Prabhuji. Thank you.